Hello, Ola Kita. Well, that's the way we say hello in Papua New Guinea. Hello, children. How are you people doing? I'm Saurabh Kumar Dutt, and I'm here to teach you people a little bit of mathematics. Now, children, before we start off studies, let us quickly have a look about this beautiful place. This is Mount Tawurwur, island of New Britain, Papua New Guinea. It is an active volcano which last erupted in 2014. Here you can feel the hot magma boiling, groaning and grumbling to come out. However, it is nothing to be scared because the next volcanic eruption is expected in 2050 by the observatory. Make sure to be to this place also because the aquatic life of Bismarck Sea is majestic. Here you will get to see the natural Simpson Harbor and also the view of Mount Tawurwur at dawn and dusk is really photogenic. Make sure to have sak, which is the famous sweet dish here, and also tell all the people of Papua New Guinea that you get to meet Hello Ola Kita. In this note, children, I'm again going to say Hello Ola Kita, but at this time it is going to be to simultaneous linear equations. Now here, children, when we talk about simultaneous linear equations, the word simultaneous means together. And here when we talk about linear equations, it's actually those equations where the power of the variable is just 1. So if say we have something like this, then we can say that it is simultaneous linear equations which are to be solved. For that matter, let's say we have 3x plus 4y is equal to 17, which is one of the equations. And let's say the other equation is 2x plus 5y is equal to 13. So as these are two equations where you get to see that the power of the variables is 1. So these are two equations in two variables which are linear. Now in order to solve them, there are many methods. One of the methods is elimination. The other method is substitution. The third method can be the method of cross multiplication, and then there are other methods that you will get to learn in higher classes. At this time, when we talk about solving equations of this sort, this lecture is actually devoted to problems in linear equations of two variables. So here, children, I have an interesting question which I'd like you people to try, and after that I will be discussing the question so that there is no doubt whatsoever in solving such sort of questions. After I solve this question, I will also give you a question for trial so that you can make yourselves more perfect in this topic. So let's get started, children, and let me give you a little bit of time for trial. Right. So children, here in this question, you've been given 90% acid solution and 97% acid solution are mixed to make 21 liters of 95% acid solution. How many liters of each solution are mixed? So here, children, the first assumption that we can make is that the amount of liters of 90% acid solution be X. So let amount of 90% acid solution be X. The second assumption, let amount of 97% acid solution be Y. Now since, children, in the last statement we've been given here that the total amount of the solution which is made is 21 liters, as such we can say that X plus Y is actually 21 liters, and thus here what we will say is, we will say as the next equation to be by question. We know this, that x plus y will become equal to 21. So children, this is the first equation. Now after this, we also have been given that the acid solutions are either 90% or 97%, and they have to be made to be 95%. So what do you actually understand when we say that an acid solution is 90%? It is meant that 90%, that means 90 parts out of 100 will be acid and the rest 10 will be water. That will then make a 90% acid solution. So let's talk about the amount of acid which is there in the 90% acid solution, the amount of acid which is there in the 97% acid solution, and then we will talk about the amount of acid which is required in the 95% acid solution which is to be made, right? So here next now we are going to say amount of acid in 90% solution will actually be equal to 90 upon 100, which is going to be multiplied with the total amount of the solution, which remember was x, right? So this will be the amount of acid in the 90% solution where x liters of it are available. Now similarly children, we will also be talking about the amount of acid in 97% solution, and here children we can say that that is going to be 97 upon 100, which is going to be multiplied with y, because in this case the amount of solution has been assumed to be y. Now children, if we add both of these amounts, so obviously we will get the total amount of acid which is there, right? So we can say that total amount of acid got by mixing both solutions, right? That is going to be equal to 90 upon 100 into x plus 97 upon 100 into y, right? So this will give you the total amount, and if you remember, the total amount is actually x plus y liters of the made solution, and which we know as 21 liters. So if of 21 liters we require a 95% solution as has been given to you in the question, so the amount of acid should be equal to here 95 upon 100 into the amount of solution which has been made, which is 21 liters. Now here children, next what we'll do is we will now take an LCM, and we find that both the denominators are 100, as such the LCM will become equal to 100. In the numerator we have 90x, to which we have 97y which can be added, and on the other side we have 95 which is divided by 100 and it is multiplied with 21. Now children, here we get to see that there are certain terms which will get cancelled, like 100 will get cancelled from both the sides. And further then children, we can do a little bit of simplification, as we know that x plus y is equal to 21, right? So from that we can find out the value of y in terms of x. So x plus y is equal to 21. As such, if you talk about the value of y can be written to be equal to 21 minus x. Now children, this is going to be substituted in the earlier equation. So we have 90x plus 97 times of, in place of y now we will be substituting 21 minus x, right? And further here we have 95 multiplied with 21. Now next children, after this what we do is we now are going to multiply and then simplify. So we have here 90x plus 97, which is to be multiplied with 21. Don't multiply, just keep it as it is. I'll show you how easy the calculations are going to become. So minus 97x, that will become equal to 95 multiplied by 21. Now children, here what we do is we bring 95 and 21 to the left hand side and the terms with x on the other side. So as such, here we have 97, which is multiplied with 21. From that is subtracted 95 into 21. And on the right hand side, children, we will now have here 97x, which was a negative, goes to the other side, makes itself positive, from which 90x is subtracted. Now next, here what we can do is on the left hand side we can take 21 outside, and then we have 97 minus 95 inside here, and on the other side if we talk about the difference of 97x and 90x, that's going to be equal to 7x. Now since 7 cancels 21 3 times, as such here we have 97 minus 95, which is 2. So 3 into 2 will become the value of x. Or in other words, x can be written to be equal to 6 liters, because remember, we have to write the unit of x as well as that of y. And since the total amount of the acid solution came out to be 21, as such, y must be 15 liters. So therefore, y is going to be written to be 15 liters. So the sum of both of these becomes equal to the 21 liters of 95% acid solution. Okay children, so I'm sure all of you people must have understood this. Yes, Yash? Okay, you want a second explanation, and as you know, I will be giving you a second explanation, because if there is any doubt with anybody, all of that should get cleared by the time I complete my lecture. So here children, we have 90% acid solution and 97% acid solution, which are two different solutions in probably two different containers, and they are mixed up to make 21 liters of 95% acid solution. Now how many liters of each solution are mixed is what you have to find out. So the first thing that you can do here is we can consider that the amount of 90% acid solution is x. Then we can consider that the amount of 97% acid solution is y. Now, as by the question, both of the solutions have been mixed, so we can consider that x plus y, which is the total amount of the solution, is the amount of solution which has been got, which is 21 liters, right? As such, x plus y can be written to be equal to 21. So this becomes your first equation. Now next children, here we can talk about the amount of acid in 90% solution, the amount of acid in 97% solution. So the amount of acid in 90% solution will be 90 upon 100 into x, because x is the total amount of the solution. So this will give you in grams the amount of acid which was mixed with 10% water to give you 90% acid solution. Next, now we talk about the amount of acid in 97% solution. So we talk about 97 upon 100 and we multiply it with y, as y was the amount of the solution. Now next children, what we do is, as the total amount can be calculated of acid, so we can now talk about the first amount, which is 90 upon 100 into x. To that we can add the second amount, which is 97 upon 100 into y. Now on the right hand side, we will write the amount that we got of, that is the concentration that we got of the amount of the liquid. So as here in the question, the latter amount of the acid solution is to be 95%. As such, it is going to be 95 upon 100 of the total amount of solution which has been formed, which is 21 liters. Now here children, on the left hand side we find that there are denominators. As such, we will have to take an LCM, and the LCM will be the same number, which is 100. Now in the numerator you will have 90x, to which is going to be added 97y, and on the other side we have 95 upon 100 into 21. Now we find that the denominators are exactly the same, and as they are on the other side, so you can bring one to the other side and cancel it off. We can even directly cancel it off. So we are now left out with 90x plus 97y, which is equal to 95 into 21. Now children, we can consider this to be, say, some equation number 2. Now we already have by equation number 1 that x plus y is equal to 21. So here children, what we can do is we can now talk about finding out the value of y in terms of x. As such, y will become equal to 21 minus x. Now this value can be substituted in the just formed equation, that is the second equation. So we have 90x plus 97 times of 21 minus x, that is the value of y, right? That becomes equal to 95 into 21. Now here children, next we are to multiply, to simplify, and to get to the final answer, but all of that will be done astutely so that you have to calculate the least, because when you calculate the least, you make the least mistakes, you do the least labor, and then you get the best answer with the least labor, right? So here children, we won't multiply, we leave it as it is. We will just write here 97 into 21 minus 97x, and that is equal to 95 into 21. Don't go and multiply, right? Now here children, we will see that the terms with constants are actually 95 into 21 and the other is 97 into 21. So here now, if the constants are brought to the left hand side, it will become 97 into 21 minus 95 into 21, and on the other side we will have had this term which will become positive, that is 97x, from which is going to be subtracted the other term which is 90x. Now 97x minus 90x will become 7x, and here in the two terms on the left hand side you can take 21 to be common outside, and then inside you will have 97 minus 95, which will become 2. So 3 into 2 will become equal to 6. As such, x will become equal to 6 liters, because here x was the amount of the 90% solution, and as it was in liters, so our final answer will also be in liters. Now when we talk about the other 97% solution, it is going to be from 21 when 6 is subtracted, that will be the amount of the 97% solution. So 21 minus 6 will make it 15, and thus 15 liters is the amount of the solution, which is 97% solution. So is everybody clear about this? Yash? Sure? Good. Now children, there are two tasks that you will have to do. The first is you will have to write these concepts in your copy. You will have to write the question in your copy and then do this all on your own, so that all of this that has been taught is very well assimilated with you, and if you have sums of this type, you can do it with ease. Now like I told you, I will give you another question which will be in the description of the video. Make sure to do that video, sum, and take a pic of it from your mobile and send it to me in my email ID, which is themathematicshelpline@gmail.com, which will again be there in the description. So when you do it, then I will see you as a sincere student, and in times to come, whatever problems you ask or whatever topics you say that you want to study, I will help you with it. So make sure that your journey in mathematics is an interesting one, and wherever you feel that you are stumbling, wherever you feel that you are being choked down, remember me, I will pull you out. So make sure children to work hard, and there'll be a time when you'll become very good in maths. So bye children, have a nice time.